Okay, this is the last section of notes before your quiz. Okay, so today is about some verbs and how to use the different verbs, as well as just the randomness that comes in with filling in the missing blanks. Okay, so starting with the verb tease. There you go. Here's your first one. Everybody try that one. Einladen.
Einladen.
Anybody know what that means? To invite. To invite. Now this one is a separable verb. Okay. So it separates right there. So what happens to that ein?
Ein goes first.
Ein goes to the end. It is the end of your sentence. Okay?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So then you conjugate laden, but the ein gets kicked to the end and you just don't touch the ein. Just move it. Okay? This is an irregular verb. So, okay. So that means Oklahoma is okay. So these are fine. There's your Oklahoma. So let's do those first. Okay. So how would you conjugate laden for ein? Lada. And then when you're doing these, do little dots or space or something like that, but you still need to put down the ein. So to remember that it goes there. Okay. In some cases, not in this particular instance, but in some cases it can give you a different word. Okay, if you change up the separable prefix or you forget that it's there. Okay. As an example, the verb vorschlagen. Does anybody happen to know what that means?
No.
I'd be shocked if you did. Vorschlagen is to suggest. Okay, so that for is separable, it gets kicked to the end. But if you forget that at the end, and you just use schlagen, that means to hit. Very, very, very different. Okay? Very different, yep. Alright. So we've got ich lade ein. What's wir going to be? Laden. And then you need your ein. Which other one is going to look like that? Z and Z. Mm-hmm.
Would you ever just use einladen by itself without separating them?
If you have another verb, like a modal verb, like you're saying I want to invite blah blah blah, then when you use einladen at the end, it looks like its original form. So at the end it'll just be like that, but if you're conjugating it, it will be separated. Okay. Okay. Alright, and then this one is kind of goofy because you'll see it more than one way. Okay. Because normally when you end a verb with a D, after you get rid of that en, you put an E before you add your ending. Okay. But this one, for whatever reason, people kind of get lazy about it. Okay. So you'll frequently just see it go straight to the T. Okay. So just be aware that you might see it both ways. Okay. So lad ein. But you might also see ladet ein. On the test, I'll take either. Okay. So there might be an E in there. I'll do this. E in parentheses. Optional E. Okay? Now if we have an A in a verb, what's a normal way for it to suddenly become slightly different when we're conjugating irregular? Umlauts. You got it. And that's what happens in this case. Okay? Okay? So that same thing, we have kind of the optional E. It's in red to make sure it stands out to you that it's unique, irregular. Okay, so letzte ein or latest ein. Letzte ein is more common. So again, without the E is more common. What's erstes and mine going to be? Late ein. So umlauts again. So it almost sounds like late, like I am late. Okay. Becca's ready, so we'll move on. Alright, fahren. We've already had to use this one a couple times, but people are still struggling with that one, so we're going to add it back in again. So, fahren, what's it mean?
Drive.
To drive. Okay. But remember, we use it with a lot of different things. So, you drive a canoe. You drive a bike. You drive all these, the skates, you drive skis, whatever. So it sounds goofy to us, but that's what they say. Yep. Yeah? Well, I mean, you could have used fahren again. It depended on your choice. Okay? But the part that people are messing up is, you know, if number 18, if that's what you use, then you use the command form using the formal, so then it was just fahren Sie, blah, blah, blah. So you didn't have to conjugate it, because it was the same as the original. It's the irregular conjugations that people are still stumbling on. Okay? So we got Oklahoma okay again. Okay? So it's ich going to be. I'm sorry, what? Far, yeah. And go down the right side. Wir, what? Fahren. Ihr. Fahrt. And Sie and Sie. So, for fahren, what's irregular about it? What changes? Umlauts. Okay, so du is going to become what? First. And what about yes and man? Ferret. Kind of like ferret. Ferret. Pferd. Which is this? Very similar sounding. Uh-huh. Okay, so that's horse. Pferd sounds a lot like Pferd. They sound very, very similar, but Pferd with a p at the beginning is the word for horse. Okay, moving on. Now we're back to regular kinds of notes, so no more verb T's today. Let the random vocabulary begin. Alright. Some of these you may already know. Alright, everybody try the first one. Klar. Any idea what it means? Sure, or of course. So clear, clearly. Okay, so of course. Next one you learned in like week 1, a German one. Do you know how to say that one? Genau. Do you remember what it means? Exactly.
Do we really learn this?
Yeah, it's on the poster. The Kommunikation im Unterricht.
Where?
It's number 12, letter D.
Oh, this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
German one's been a long time. I miss those days.
Yeah.
All right. Try the next one. Noch.
No.
Okay. Try it again. Noch.
No.
Okay. So a lot of people mispronounce this one and they think it's nach. Because you've seen nach with an A. You've also seen Nacht with an A and a T. But this one is noch. Okay, so this one you use when you're asking for another or something else. Okay?
Another one.
Okay. So if you had a piece of cake, which sounds delicious, okay?
No.
And maybe your host or something asked, would you like another one? You could say, they would say to you, noch ein? Another one? And you would say, ja, ja, gern, danke, vielen Dank, ich liebe Kuchen. Okay? So,
What did you say?
okay, next one. Try the next one.
I say another one again?
Noch ein.
I just add one, like, I ain't fucking.
Uh-huh. So it's the correct ein word. So if it was something that was feminine, like a cola, die Cola. So then it would ask you, noch eine? Huh? Okay, so it goes that way. All right, so try the next one. Lieber. You had this one in a question last year, I think, didn't you? Oh, no. You had a different one. Never mind. So lieber means that you prefer something.
Well, don't we have this
Preference.
in one
I
question?
thought we had
I think we did because we like preferred something over something.
Yeah.
Oh, the sports.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was thinking of the right one.
Oh,
Yeah. Welchen Sportarten findest du... No, that was gut, besser und am besten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
gut,
means-
besser und am besten. It doesn't say
We
lieber.
use lieber in the sentence.
Yeah.
I'm a
Because we
believer.
preferred this
Oh
over
my
this.
god, bro.
No?
No.
It was like I'm not.
So, ich finde Fußball gut, Basketball besser und Ultimate Frisbee am besten, or whatever would have been your answer.
Oh.
Something like that. Okay. But you could say, so for example, the way it comes up in this one, you could say, like, ich spiele Fußball gern. I like to play soccer. Aber ich spiele Basketball lieber. But I prefer to play basketball. Or I want to play basketball more. I like playing it more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, try the next one. Der Bahnhof. Okay.
It sounds so familiar.
Train station. Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Where have I heard that?
You just used it in your homework a couple times, and we used it in a sentence yesterday.
Why are Quinky dings? I know, I was like, I'm
It is literally, Hof is like a courtyard, and Bahn is another word for train. So there's Zug, and then there's Bahn. So it's literally a courtyard of trains, which makes sense, right? Okay, where are those umlauts going to go when you make a plural?
over the A.
Falsch.
Oh.
Over the O, last vowel possible, because it's all based on the word for Hof. Okay, so anywhere that ends in Hof is a der word, and you add umlauts to the O and E at the end to make a plural. Okay? Alright, last one we also saw. So try that one again. Die Stadt. Where do those umlauts go? That tend to go on the A. It's your only option, right? Don't put them on the T. Okay? So what does that one mean? Die Stadt. Nope. City. A couple people said it. Straße is the word for street.
Oh. Well, I was close enough.
Moving on. Try the next one. Das Haus. Okay? Where do the umlauts go when you make a plural?
Over the A.
Over the A. When you have the two vowels next to each other, it goes in for the first. Okay, so that one's goofy. Okay, so is it obvious what this one means?
No.
House. Yeah. It means spatula.
That was so funny.
All right, try the next one. Gleich die Ecke. Okay, and I've already tried the German again. Gleich die Ecke. He didn't do it again. He apologized. Okay, so what did this one mean, those of you who did your homework? Right around the corner, or just around the corner.
Oh my.
Okay, so gleich. Gleich is the word that means right or just. So immediately. Okay? The next one you saw yesterday as well, try that one. Bezahlen. It is to pay. So that one conjugates normally, which is why we didn't put it in a verb T. Next one, try it. Der Platz. Nope.
Oh, please.
That's Teller.
Oh, yeah.
Place or room. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean room like a bedroom or a classroom or something like that. It means like space. Okay. Can also be used for the word for a seat. Okay, so if you're on a train for example, and somebody says, "Ist der Platz noch frei?" Is that place still free? They're talking about the seat. Is the seat available? All right. Try the next one. Genug. Everybody. Genug. Genug. Enough. Ich hab genug gehabt. Had enough. Okay? Alrighty. Couple phrases. Shh. Shh. Alright. Try that one. Ohne deine Freunde geht's nicht. Good. Okay, so what does ohne deine Freunde mean? Without your friends.
So you know you're my friend? She said yeah, but I'm not yours. Yeah, she knows it's true.
Okay, so without your friends, the geht's nicht literally means it won't go,
It won't go.
but it won't work.
Oh.
So it won't work without your friends. So it's just a weird phrase that they deem necessary for you to know. You will not have to reproduce that one. Okay? But know what it means if you see it. Okay? So you could change it up so like ohne deine Rechnung geht's nicht. Okay? So without your calculator it won't work, like if you're trying to do complicated math or something. Okay?
I'm sorry,
Alright, the next few phrases you're going to translate for me. Okay? So do y'all have enough room? Okay, what's our verb first? Okay, so the do and the have go together. Yep. So we're basing it on this have. How do you conjugate it for y'all? Hopped. It's a question, so your verb is first. Then what? Ear.
Genug.
Genug.
And then,
Platz. Good. Everybody put that together. Habt ihr genug Platz? Good. Alright, next one. They are inviting us. Come on. Shh. Got some people over in the far corner who are struggling with paying attention right now. Okay. They is what? Z. Capitalized because it's the beginning of the sentence.
Zen.
Nope.
Yeah.
Are and inviting. Go together. Laden, because it's separable. Okay? Then what? Uns. Okay. Shh. How do you spell uns? Yeah, you just stick an N in the middle of us. Okay? Uns, uns. And then ein at the end. Good. Now, is uns accusative or dative?
Hey, wait, I answered that. It's accusative.
What's your main subject? They or Z. What are they doing?
Inviting.
Whom are they inviting?
Us.
That means we are the direct objects, so we are accusative. Okay? It's not to or for whom, right? They are inviting us. We are the people being invited. So we're directly affected. Okay? Alright. That means, when we look at this next one, whomever you are inviting, that's an accusative. Right? So we have to look carefully at this one. As lazy Americans, we tend to say, who are they inviting? The whom, which is correct in English, is a better tip-off that you need to watch what your first word is. So we have three choices for the who word. Wer, wen, and wem. Let's walk it through. What's your main subject in this question? They. Okay. That's nominative. What are they doing? Inviting. Okay, so that's a verb. Whom are they inviting? Who we don't know. That's who we're asking about. Good. So what case is whom going to be in? Accusative. So your first word is vain. Good. What's your next word?
The inviting verb, which is einladen.
Laden. Big S or little s?
Big ass. Wait,
Little s. Ethan, I'll sit up. Well, your head is down, and I can't see your eyes. So to me, that looks like you're trying to sleep. And you're not writing down the notes, which is what you're supposed to be doing.
why are you even trying to fall asleep?
Okay. What are we missing at the end here? Ein. We got one slide to go. Yeah. Who invited Bob? Okay, before we translate it, walk me through. Okay? Who's the main subject? Is Bob inviting?
No,
Who? We are looking for who's doing that. Okay, who did the inviting? So that means who is nominative. What's a verb? What case is Bob? Accusative. Okay. So what's our first word? There. Because it is the main subject. What comes next? How do you conjugate it for ver?
Yes.
Just like ears es.
Oh.
Ver rhymes with air.
So be lot.
Okay. Not lot, but late. Okay. Then what? Bob ein. Good. Wer lädt Bob ein? Okay, so who? Well, technically it's who is inviting. Okay, so it's still present tense.
Writing Bob.
Right? Seriously. Okay.
What did he get?
All right. Going to the last one. Last question. Whom did Bob invite? So again, we're still doing present tense. Okay, it just sounds better in past tense. Main subject? Bob. Bob is the one doing the inviting this time. Okay, so he's the main subject. Verb?
Invite.
Yep. Whom are we inviting? Or who is Bob inviting? We don't know. So whom is accusative? So, wen? Then what? Late. Remember, like you arrived late. Then? Bob, and then ein. Why do you think I had these two as your last two? They're so similar. What's the difference between them? Wer and wen. Okay, wen. Okay. So, that one letter made the difference between asking who invited Bob and who is Bob inviting. Okay? So you need to, that's why it's important to know that, how they relate to each other. Okay? Gut. Fragen? Nein. Schön.